Yo, what's up guys, Shujinkydink here, and welcome to a video all about Cetrion. I decided after Northwest Majors to release a full strategy guide on her, because I didn't want to release all my strategies before a major. So now that that's done and over with, and we can kind of move forward, I thought that I'd put out a video for anyone that's interested in learning how to play this character at a tournament level. If you're unfamiliar, I did get top 8 at that event. Wasn't the hugest event, so it is what it is, but I was the only Cetrion there, so I'm proud of that. Sorry again for the lacking audio. I am on the move right now, so this is the only microphone I have, but I still wanted to give you guys content. So if you enjoy content like this, of course, and you're new here, please subscribe, because we make videos all the time. So we're going to start with Cetrion here with her normals. So when I go through, I like to go through find the fastest ones. Standing 1 and standing 2 seem to be the fastest. Standing 1, standing 2. Now, standing 2 is a good punish because it leads into this one, which can lead into a crushing blow, which is a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. So whenever possible, I try and punish with that, but again, keep in mind you only get it once, so you may want to use it for a time where maybe you're lacking, maybe you have a bit of a life deficit and you really need to make up some damage. You can save this one and cash it out and then get your big damage, which isn't a whole lot. Let me see if I can show you here. We're going to set Jackie to throw. I usually do a little teabag just so I know when it's coming. This is the combo I usually use. So you'll see there that I ended in 2-1-2. Damage-wise, 2-1-2 is not the greatest ender for damage. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, so I'm going to come back to this in a minute. I just want to keep going over her normals real quick, and then we'll get into that. So forward 2, this is going to be your main neutral move. It covers a lot, the most distance out of most of your normals while maintaining a mid status, so it's not going to whiff on the opponent, like it's not going to miss if the opponent ducks. So this is a really good one, and of course it leads into this string, which is a low overhead, which anyone that's labbed the matchup will kind of know how to block. Again, we'll get into that later. Other normals that she has, back 3 is a low. That's one actually I use quite a bit. I'll explain why again a little bit later, but back 3, a nice quick little low. Doesn't have a whole lot of range though, so you kind of got to be right up on your opponent in order to get it to work. And then you got back 4 and standing 4 and back 4 are probably the two that only other really meaningful ones that I really use a whole lot. I used standing 4 because it is plus on block, however they do have to be standing as it's a high attack. So it's +3 block advantage you can see there. By the way, if you're unfamiliar with how frame data works, I will link in the description below a video that I made about the basics on frame data. I'm still going to finish that video, but I want to make sure you understand this first. And then you just got her basic sweep. Actually, this is also a good one that I use too because it's a good spacing tool. You can move in, and it really lowers her hitbox. So like she's kind of out of the way if someone wants to come in with a high. You can stop it with the low, and it has pretty good hit advantage at +16, so she can kind of do whatever she wants after you hit. Seems to be what I go for, but I mean you can do anything. So real quick, going back to, now we're going into combos. She's not super combo heavy, so I want to explain why I do combos the way that I do them. Again, we will set Jackie to her little teabag and throw. So let's get the crushing blow here. And 2-1-2. Now, you'll see, 2-1-2 sets her far away from Cetrion. In this instance, where Jackie has no projectiles, we do want her as far away as possible. So 2-1-2 is a good ender, put as much distance, and then you can follow up immediately with the Hell's Wrath or whatever it is. So once again, missed that. There you go, and then you start, if you hit her, then you get some hit advantage and you can kind of walk backwards and put even more space. And then we'll go into zoning, which we're going to talk about in our third segment. But going back to the combos and why I do them, the second way you can end this combo is by doing the forward 2, 3-4, which I believe is your max damage combo for this. And the reason you would do this is if you're playing an opponent that has a teleport, like Scorpion, Noob Saibot, something like that. Maybe a Cetrion in the spring cleaning variation. The reason being is in those matchups you want to keep them close. So this string will not push them away. It will land you almost right next to them, and you can continue pressure. You can go for a little bit of mix-up if you want. So let's give you an idea of what that looks like here with our little teabagging Jackie. Sorry, I'm recording this all on PlayStation, so I have no real way to edit it out, but... So you see I'm right next to her. See, she could throw me if she wants to. So you have to be aware of the wake-up with that one, but that is your option to kind of keep your opponent close. Like I said, against teleporting characters, which, yeah, at the end we'll talk into matchups that you will want to use Cetrion in, matchups you won't want to. This is early on, so of course this might change, but this is just general information from what I've gathered by playing her almost exclusively for a week. So, yeah. Believe that's really one of her only combos. She can whiff punish using that save 4-2-3 string, and then going into the down back 4. So you can do something like this, and then same thing depending on your ender. So if you're shimmying back and forth, or you think you get a chance to punish your opponent, standing 2 being her 9 frame, standing 1, you can actually do a standing 1 into this if you need something that's just a little bit quicker. Same combo, you sacrifice some damage, but it is an option. So now it's time for the whole reason I chose this variation to begin with, the zoning. Absolutely. Lots of people don't like zoning, but if you don't like zoning, then this is not the variation for you. Because this is 100% keep away. So she has a couple different options in this. We have the straight boulder. We have the air boulder, which, by the way, get a nice little crushing blow on this one. Let's we can just set them to jump actually. $320 damage for a projectile if you catch them in the air. I think it's maybe like half screen longer, but I haven't really played around with it too much. Okay, stop jumping. Jump around, jump around. So yeah, so you have the straight one, you have the boulder, and then you have the ground pound. We're going to focus on those 3 for just a second here. So basically the idea is to try and make them jump by abusing them with this one and the ground pound. You also have this one. The only downside to this one is it kind of pulls them closer to you, which is kind of not really what you want. But it's a good one if you kind of quickly, if you want to read that they're trying to move or something like that. It's good to catch them. Because the idea is that you hit them with this. You make them jump, you make them want to jump, and you throw that one. So you can delay this boulder, like pressing down back 2, hold the 2. And if you just hold the 2, she'll throw it. If you hold forward and 2, then she'll release it forward. So that's why you can kind of maybe try and guess. And as soon as you react to them jumping, or you think that they're going to try and jump it, you know, I like to kind of spam these a little bit, and then as soon as delay it for a second, and then just throw that. So they think another one's coming. They're like, oh, he's just getting overzealous with throwing the ground one, so I'll jump. Like, nah, it was planned all along. Gotcha. And then get the crushing blow, tons of damage. That can actually be a big combat factor for you as well. So those are those moves. The ground pound in particular is good because you can kind of use it as a mix-up. So you got this one that's a low overhead, 4-2-3-4, but then you can cancel it, and then it's a low instead of a low overhead. Same with 2-1-3. If you're just throwing this move out there, 2-1 ground pound. There you go. Then you got a mix-up. Keep in mind this is kind of unsafe. However, it does have a little bit of pushback, so it does keep you safe in some instances. So something to keep in mind. Depending on the character, a character may be able to punish you. Let's see exactly how much pushback it has here. Oh, not much at all. I thought it had more than that. So be careful because it is minus 15, I believe. I'm going to double check that while I'm here. Where is my earthquake? How about an earthquake? Yeah, minus 15. So, now to one of her arguably best zoning tools that she has, the down back 1. You can put this in pretty much any place you want, close, medium, or far. The far one is extremely oppressive, especially when you're dealing with somebody that doesn't have a projectile. You do something like that, ground pound, they go to get up, they're getting up right into that one. And that one is, it took me a long time to really get the timing on how to do it, but you really have to do like down, back, forward. You almost have to roll your thumb. Down, back, forward, and then, see, I just messed it up right there. Oh, sorry, down, back, then square, then forward. Down, back, one, then forward. But it's really, really fast. Like, you can't really react to it, because in previous games, you could just kind of do the down, back, one input, and then react and press forward, back, whatever. This, you have to commit to whatever direction you're doing it. So this is good for, like I mentioned, they're down again. Now, one of the bonuses to this, say they start moving in and you do the mid one, you can amplify this. And the second one, bam, you're full screen again. Doesn't matter if you're right in my face, you're full screen again. And then I can use the hit advantage, which isn't super huge, but it's enough to really kind of get another boulder there just to kind of lock them down. They block the boulder, you can go into the ground pound. And then you're back in that whole mix again. And that's why she's so good. Fighting against a character like Jackie, not really that big of a deal. You just kind of do stuff. She starts to get close, you can mix it up with this, and then of course you also have this. And there's a guess of whether you're going to amplify it to push her back even more. So don't forget about this air one. This air one's really important. Because there are some characters like Sub-Zero, for example, who don't technically have a teleport, but he does have the ice ball. So if you're caught doing something like this, and his ice ball trades with you, you're in for a bad time. So you have to make sure that you can jump over his ice ball using these, but you can actually react to it. The only exception is if he amplifies it. Then it's super fast and it's going to beat out your jump. So you really want to watch his offensive meter with the sword there, and if he doesn't have any meter, then you're free to kind of jump over his ice balls and react with that. But it is way too risky for Cetrion to do moves like this, or even that, because if it hits us at any time and it trades, he's going to win that, get a full combo. So just something to keep in mind. Same with teleport characters. The saving grace to the teleport characters, and this is really the only time I can think that you would use this, because it's so slow, is when you delay this, you can cancel it. So I wish I would have known or played around with this theory before I had Northwest Majors last weekend, because I did play Too Easy, who was a Scorpion player, and of course Scorpion can just teleport whenever. So I was throwing these and he'd react to it and teleport. So one strategy I thought of afterwards, well, I could just throw this so he can bait the movement, cancel it, block his teleport, and then I get a full combo punish. So that, I think, is what this is used more for. To kind of bait some sort of movement, cancel it. As you can see, it does use a bar of defensive meter. So, you know, you do you, girl. Last thing I'm going to go into, so the doning's done, I guess, kind of staggers, I guess, is the one thing I wanted to kind of go into. You can't have her in stance with that. No, 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 no. We'll go all. So we have this 2-1, which is -1 on block, I believe, and of course the 2-1-3 goes into the overhead. So a lot of the times I'll do 2-1, back 3-2. Back 3 is fairly fast, it's a 10 frame low, and of course when you do the 2-1 you're safe and right up on them. So they're standing up to block the overhead, and you just hit them from low. And that actually hits them a little bit of a ways, so demonstrate, put you right into range for that. Meter burn it, bang. So that's something I really like to do. Back to that, that's a stagger. You can't really stagger this one as much, just because a lot of people are ready for it. And it's -10. So it's not as safe as a -1, 2-1, that kind of thing. So you have to be a little bit more careful about that. 2-1 is a good stagger, and of course if you don't want to go into the low, you can go into a throw. That kind of thing. I don't know, I feel like I've covered most everything that this variation is capable of. I guess it's question time. If you have any questions about anything that I covered today regarding Cetrion, please let me know in the comments down below. I will be sure to answer them. And again, if you enjoy videos like these, please subscribe because we make videos all the time. This week is a bit of an exception as I'm out of town for work, so again, apologies for the audio and that kind of thing. Hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you did, leave a like because it really helps me out. Hashtag Big Dink Energy. And we'll see all you guys in the next video.